46 degrees Celsius. That's the temperature in Delhi at the peak of summer. Hot enough to spoil fruits, cause heat strokes, and hot enough for the government to shut down schools and other offices. India's meteorological department measured Delhi's heat index at 47.1 degrees Celsius on June 10, 2025, and some studies have suggested that 2026 will be hotter than projected. But for Delhi's 650,000 street vendors, staying home is not a choice. The cart has to go out, the customers have to come, and the heat, even relentless and record-breaking, takes everything it can, their earnings, their health, and sometimes their lives.
5 people have died from heat stroke in Delhi's hospitals.
The Met Department has also issued a red alert for parts of North India as the death toll continues to rise.
Everyone without a roof to work under bears the brunt, but the data and the women themselves tell the same story. It falls heaviest on them. This is Tank Road, Karol Bagh of Delhi, where the lanes are so narrow that 2 people can barely pass each other. 38-year-old Sarita lives here with her husband Dilip Kumar and their 2 sons in a 2-room apartment packed neatly with everything a family needs to get by. Sarita is up at 5 in the morning every day. She grinds chutneys, packs fruits and snacks for her husband. By then, Dilip loads all the supplies onto his bicycle and heads out to Rajendra Nagar to a stretch near Sar Gangaram Hospital where they both sell fresh juice and snacks all day long. The medical bills for the family are constant, but when summer hits Delhi, the streets turn punishing, especially for Sarita, who works alongside Dilip. For her, the worst heat means more than discomfort. It means lost customers, damaged stock, and mounting cost on top of everything the family is already carrying.
चक्कर आने लगता है, बहुत ज़्यादा धूप पड़ता है तो काम कम हो जाता है, पब्लिक बाहर निकलती नहीं है।
पानी कहाँ से लाते हो?
पानी तो मैं कहाँ से लाते, गरीब खरीद के लाते, इधर उधर से घूम फिर कहीं मिल जाता है। यहाँ लेडीज़ के लिए कोई टॉयलेट नहीं है, गंगाराम के अंदर तो वॉशरूम नहीं है, इसकी वजह से हम पानी भी कम पीते हैं कि हमें वॉशरूम के लिए परेशानी बहुत सारी होती है। और क्या नाम है, गर्मी में चक्कर आती तो पानी नहीं होता, शरीर में पानी का कमी हो जाता, फिर पानी भी ग्लूकोज भी चलवाना पड़ता है। बहुत सारी ऐसी हमें दिक्कत होती है, फिर मैं 2 दिन 3 दिन हफ्ते दिन बीमार हो जाती हूँ।
पैसा कितना जाता है फिर आपकी हेल्थ को लेकर उन दिनों?
फिर सर पैसे उस समय ज़्यादा जाते हैं क्योंकि दवाई ग्लूकोज चढ़वाना होता है, फिर 4-5 हज़ार तो लग ही जाती है एक बार में ही।
A recent study published by Vigo, working in heat, street vendors and climate justice in Delhi, conducted by partner organization Jan Pahal, found that female street vendors bear a disproportionate burden during heat waves. The most alarming finding it revealed, many women choose to drink less water, not because clean water isn't available, but because there are no toilets. The consequences are severe and chronic. Doctors are seeing rising rates of kidney diseases directly linked to the forced dehydration.
If we talk within the marginalized or worst impacted population groups, I believe that women are the worst impacted for multiple reasons. One, the way in India women are dressed, so their clothing etc. affect them a proper exposure to the ventilation, but also it is related to availability of drinking water for women. And also there is one issue which is often flagged by different sectors, that lack of availability of washrooms, so women are afraid of drinking sufficient water. Now this is artificial because they should drink more water in the rising temperature, but there is lack of access to basic amenities such as washrooms, so they are forced not to drink water, and that aggravates their problem.
The numbers from the survey are stark. After the 2025 heat wave, 96% street vendors reported a drop in customers. People simply stopped coming out during heat waves. 90% cut their working hours. 72% street vendors lost their stock due to heat damage. 79% of vendors, nearly 4 out of 5, sought medical attention for heat-related illness for themselves or a family member. That's a 4-fold increase from before the heat wave.
सर चक्कर आते हैं, बहुत बीपी लो होने लगता है, एकदम से शुगर गिरने लगती है, फिर दिक्कत होती है, और ज़्यादा कम पानी पीने की वजह से यूरिन इन्फेक्शन वगैरह भी कई बार हो जाता है। मुझे सांस की भी दिक्कत है और सांस की वजह से मैं ज़्यादा ठंडा पानी या जूस की मेरी खुद की शॉप है, मैं जंगल में ज़्यादा पी नहीं सकती क्योंकि मुझे फिर ज़्यादा सांस की दिक्कत होने लगती है, तो फिर मुझे बहुत परेशानी होती है और मैं बीमार नहीं होना चाहती क्योंकि मेरे पास है नहीं कुछ कि मैं अपना इलाज वगैरह करा सकूँ। तो मैं घर में ही घरेलू नुस्खे वगैरह यूज़ करके फ़िलहाल अपने आप को ठीक कर लेती हूँ और बच्चों को भी कोशिश करती हूँ कि कम से कम बीमार होए गर्मी के मौसम में, और उनको भी ज़्यादातर घरेलू नुस्खे ही देती हूँ मैं बच्चों को भी। और घर किराए पे है, सब कुछ है, तो किराया वगैरह कहाँ से दूंगी मैं, तो इसीलिए मैं कोशिश करती हूँ कि बच्चे या घर में कोई बीमार ना पड़े हमारे।
The migration story spoke to women street vendors in Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Ahmedabad and other cities and asked them what working during summer means for them. And they all share the same story, that during heat waves, it's extremely challenging for them and their health.
आईची किडनी काढेले आणि तिचं भरपूर तकलीफ होते तिला आणि तिचं एक सून पडेले, किडनीचा भाग आहे ना, सून पडेले. उन्हात उभी बसती माझी आई. आम्ही भाड्याच्या रूममध्ये राहते.
రోడ్లో ఆడవాళ్ళకి వాష్రూమ్లు అనేది పెట్టాలి, చల్ల నీళ్ళు అనేది పెట్టాలి. మళ్ళీ దీనికి కింద పడిపోతారు. ఒక వాటర్ బాటిల్ కొనుక్కోవాలంటే 20 రూపాయలు, చేతిలో డబ్బులు ఉండకపోవచ్చు. ఆడకి పడిపోయిన మనిషిని లెగదీయరు, ఒక చాట మనిషి అని చేరదీయరు. అదండి ఈ ఎండలకి చాలా దారుణంగా పడిపోతున్నారు, ఎవరో పట్టించుకోవట్లేదు.
ಮರ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟ ಕಷ್ಟ. ಬಿಸಿಲಿಗೆ ನಾವು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಮಾಡೋರು ಯಾರು ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ 12 ಗಂಟೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲ 3 ಗಂಟೆ ಮೇಲೇ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದು.
Across 7 markets surveyed in Delhi, not a single one had access to municipal water. Vendors buy or carry water every day. Food vendors in busy markets spend up to 6,000 rupees a month on water alone. In a city where households receive 600 liters free from the government daily, toilets are nearly absent. 3 markets had none whatsoever, forcing open defecation. Most others had paid to use facilities in poor conditions. As per the study, only 4 markets had any usable toilet facilities for women.
So our policy suggestion for street vendors is that there is an existing law on street vendors which exists, which asks for involving the street vendors in designing vending zones. Now, these vending zones can be climate resilient as well. So first of all, implementation of the Street Vending Act and designing of climate resilient vending zones. Second, better provision of water and sanitation in the markets, particularly for women. Third, social security. You know, they have no health insurance. The out-of-pocket expenses for health are very high. So can they be covered in social security mechanisms that we have? Can there be a focused approach to bring more and more street vendors under any health insurance program that the government is thinking? And finally, some kind of compensation for loss of income. Now, there is already a loan that loan scheme that the government is talking is a very successful loan scheme for the street vendors, started during the COVID time. And perhaps that loan scheme, which is done well with the vendors, can that be extended to some kind of a loan for climate resilient infrastructure, for building a shade, for some kind of low cost, eco-friendly vending intervention, which is the cost of which is co-shared by the vendor. So some very innovative ways are needed, and some of the existing mechanisms of protection for the workers have to be extended to the street vendor on a war footing.
For Sarita and her family, the struggle doesn't pause between summers. Medical bills don't pause. They navigate public assistance schemes, hoping to build something more secure for their sons, a future that doesn't depend entirely on whether the heat lets up.
The migration story.